Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. Will now please come to order. The time is about 5:35. I'm not going to repeat all the full measure of descriptions about decorum and procedure, but say that all of those things as previously read remain in effect. And I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Good evening, everyone. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Also, as a reminder to all meeting attendees seeking parking validation for today's meeting, please be sure to scan the QR code located on the back table near the chamber's entrance to claim your discount. If you do not already have a Metropolis account, you will need your license plate number to set up the account in advance of receiving your discount. Please be sure to complete this prior to the end of today's meeting, as the QR code will be removed at the conclusion of the meeting. Calling the roll, Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Hauser. Ms. Simon. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Castleberry.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper. Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Council President Miller.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I would now like to ask everyone in attendance to please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We now come to our moment of silent reflection. I just ask everyone to please ponder whatever matters are on your heart this evening for a moment or two. Thank you very much. And next we have public comment.
James DeFeo.
Thank you. I'm James DeFeo. I'm an assistant law director. I currently work within Public Works. I've been with the county about 2 years now, but I've been a lawyer for 20 plus. I've worked at a large law firm downtown. I worked for a multi-billion-dollar international corporation, and I can say that this is the most rewarding work I've ever done in my life. And I hope that this is my last stop. I come to speak about the proposed charter amendment that's supposed to delineate the duties between the prosecutor's office and the law department. This is very important, and I want to thank Councilwoman Simon and council staff and everybody else that's worked very hard to try to come to an agreement here. It's really important that we get this done, and we get this done correctly. But we're not there yet. There are a number of things that remain to be resolved, and we only have one opportunity to get this right. In particular, I'm concerned about the first sentence of paragraph D. It states that this section of the code shall not in any way limit the powers and duties of the prosecuting attorney as set forth in section 4.01 of the Charter and General Law. Well, the Charter in, general law has specific things outlined where it says the prosecuting attorney will do this. But the rest of the proposed amendment say certain tasks are delegated to the law department. We need to hash this out and say who really has these important tasks, or else it's just going to, thank you for your time.
Brenda Bickerstaff.
Good evening again. Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda Vernay Bickerstaff. Good evening, everyone. A couple of things. Councilman Jones, Turner, Hauser, and Conwell. And I'm going to say Sweeney too, but Sweeney used to be a state legislator, so he knows about law because he used to write it, and I understand that. However, I feel as though the Councilwoman Simon, you guys should have got outside counsel. Then that way it wouldn't look like it was an issue, because she is running for judge and she has a relationship with the prosecutor. Now, as a taxpayer, I don't like that. I'm just being honest. Now, moving on to my next issue, Councilwoman Simon, that is my observation. I have that right. So I don't need you snickering about what I speak about, because I don't do it to you. Give me my respect. Now, getting back to what I was getting ready to say, we want you to vote, the county, myself, I would like for you to vote to put the sheriff on the ballot, because the sheriff needs to be elected. The people need to have the power over the sheriff, the voters, because we pay taxes. We need to have that power over our sheriff. We need to have a sheriff that we can go to. We should not have to go through any of you or even the executive person that's in charge, Chris Monaine, to talk to the sheriff. We want an elected sheriff. And that's all I have to say this evening.
Annette Tucker Sutherland.
Good evening. I'm Annette Tucker Sutherland with the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland, here to again urge Council not to put the election of a sheriff on this November ballot. We have extensively studied county government, present and past, and listened to the arguments on both sides of this charter amendment debate. We continue to support an appointed sheriff. We hear concerns that appointing a sheriff has led to the counties having 9 sheriffs in 15 years, some clashing with the county executive over certain management issues. In Ohio, however, electing a sheriff has often proved to guarantee continuous re-election of the incumbent, no matter the quality of the sheriff. But appointing a sheriff subjects that official to ethics and auditing guidelines integrated with other county offices and departments. When the current charter was initially drafted in 2009, League members participated. The appointment of a sheriff was always part of the design. It was not a last-minute idea. The League urges the leaders in this room to continue to explore other methods of improving fiscal and personnel management through negotiation between the sheriff's office and the county executive's office. That is a better path to achieve full accountability in county law enforcement than reverting to the election of the sheriff. If the situation remains difficult, let next year's Charter Review Commission hash things out. There could be remedies you haven't considered. If that commission recommends putting the election of a sheriff on the ballot, the proposed charter amendment should include compliance by the sheriff with the county's ethics, IG, auditing, and personnel guardrails. Thank you.
Janine Capra.
Good evening. My name is Janine Capera. I'm an attorney in the law department. Prior to that, I was a civil attorney in the prosecutor's office. My colleagues and I currently handle EEOC, OCRC, and a host of other employment matters for the county executive and his agencies. It is my opinion that the language in the draft amendment does not adequately preserve this role to the law department. And I'm hoping that you also understand that the language is open in some instances and unclear and would only lead to further dispute. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter.
Jared Zibrotowski.
Good evening. My name is Jared Zibrotowski. I am the Chief Counsel for Contracts and Transactions in the Law Department, but I am here before you speaking in my personal capacity and on my own time. I've been a member of the Law Department since 2018, and I currently lead our Contracts and Transactions group. In fact, I've been working very hard over the past couple of years to one day grow and learn enough to become the law director of Cuyahoga County. So the proposed charter amendment before you today is important to me, both personally and professionally. I respectfully ask for you to vote no to the proposed amendment in front of you. The entire purpose of the charter amendment was to protect the law department and protect the jobs of all of my colleagues. This proposed substitute falls well short. And while it may seem to grant powers and duties to the law director, it simply does not. Section D, as written, permits too much power and potential for any prosecutor to whittle away, little by little, the duties and powers of the law director and the law department. That would subject the law department and all the 19, I think right now, attorneys to too much, just too much. The whims of any prosecutor should not affect the jobs of the law department. As written, this does not save our jobs, and it does not give me any comfort. It ensures that we will continue this dispute. It ensures that the confusion and uncertainty and worry that has belayed our department will continue constantly and into the future. It might not be an instant death for the law department, but it does ensure our slow and painful decline. I agree that we do need an amendment to the charter to protect the law department, but this is not it. Please vote no.
Nora Hurley.
Council members, Nora Hurley from Cuyahoga County Law Department. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to address you. Again, I addressed you earlier at the Committee of the Whole. I'm here to state this personally as a member of the Law Department, but also as a resident of Cuyahoga County, who has worked in the Law Department since its inception under the new form of government from day one, working to create, establish the Law Department. This charter amendment is so critical and vital that we get it right the first time. The charter amendment, as it currently is submitted, does not get it right. It does not ensure that the continued dispute that has existed between prosecutors' representation and law directors' representation will not continue. As it is currently written, it does not clarify the dispute that has existed all of these years. As it is currently submitted, it does not protect the future and the existence of the law department. Subsection D is the most problematic, that opening sentence that essentially nullifies anything that is enunciated and clarified in Section A as to the law director's duties and responsibilities. Subsection D permits the county prosecutor, future or current, to invoke general law authority and disregard what is set forth in A and take over labor negotiations, risk management, contract negotiations. It allows that, and please be cognizant of that, because that one sentence changes everything that is set forth and has been negotiated, strived for. Everyone has worked so hard. We encourage you to work to get it right, and we will work with you. Thank you.
Michael King.
Good evening, Council. Michael King, Council staff. As many of you know, over the past several weeks, I've participated in discussions between the prosecutor's office, the law director, and the administration in hopes of reaching an amicable resolution regarding the longstanding dispute over the roles and responsibilities of the prosecutor and the law director. Both sides, I believe, have bargained in good faith and have made meaningful concessions. Nevertheless, as you've heard today, they appear to have reached an impasse. While I hope an agreement can still eventually be reached, I know several of you may be inclined to move forward with a charter amendment which represents the prosecutor's latest proposal. While I understand and respect that perspective, I believe moving forward with that amendment as currently drafted would be a mistake. I have worked closely with our law department attorneys for many years. They are talented, responsive, and collaborative, and I rely on them on a daily basis. Many of the initiatives that you have all sponsored and passed over the last few years would never have come to fruition without the law department's knowledge and support. While I fully respect the prosecutor's position and perspective on the prerogatives of his office, if council places a charter amendment on the ballot over the objections of the law director and his department, as I think you've heard already, it will be viewed as a lack of faith and trust in the department, and the county risks losing many of its most talented and capable attorneys. Based on my firsthand knowledge and conversations with several of my colleagues, I fear this risk is highly credible, and should that happen, it will directly hinder both the law department's ability and my ability to serve you and your constituents. So while I will ultimately understand and respect whatever decision is made, you deserve full clarity on what's at stake and the foreseeable consequences of this decision. Thank you.
Darrell Houston.
Darrell Houston. First of all, I want to thank you guys for sitting here this long. I've been watching you guys. You guys earned your money today. I am in support of elected sheriff. I do not want anyone being handcuffed doing their jobs. I think another good suggestion came out today. You guys probably should strongly consider hiring an outside firm, because none of you guys, including myself, know anything about law in the way that you should to make these law decisions. So that would be the most educated thing to do, and it would also get it off of your desk to where you may not, some of you guys are even going up for election right now. This could change a lot by your votes, okay? So I want you to consider that as well. But the biggest thing in this room that I heard today, man,
That concludes the public comment portion for today's meeting.
Thank you very much. And the next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the July 21st, 2026 Committee of the Whole and July 21st, 2026 regular meeting. Do I have a motion? It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor of the approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Under the announcements from the council president, I have to say that I found objectionable the comments that were made in public comment today about our colleague, Ms. Simon. It's only because of the wideness of the First Amendment that I didn't rule it out of order. Ms. Simon has worked professionally and diligently on the law department prosecutor amendment and other matters, and neither her campaign for office or relationship with the prosecutor affected her performance of her duties. On a more positive note, I have to say a word about birthdays. Today is both Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell's birthday and Prosecutor Mike O'Malley's birthday, and I would like to wish both of them a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yvonne and Michael. Happy birthday to you and many more.
That's not how we sing it where I'm from. We got to do it again. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Okay.
Messages on behalf of the county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. No messages this evening. Thank you.
Okay, legislation introduced by council, consideration of resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2026-0228, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to Building Hope in the City for the Embody Youth Academy, 2026 Youth Development and Expansion Initiative from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2026-0229, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Cleveland Print Room Incorporated for the Lexington Site Expansion Project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2026-0230, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to Cleveland Rocks, past, present, and future, for the HelloCleveland.Live project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to Education, Environment, and Sustainability.
Resolution 2026-0231, awarding a total sum not to exceed $30,000 to the Friends of the Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter for the Slow the Flow project from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to Education, Environment, and Sustainability. Committee report and consideration of a resolution of council for second reading.
Resolution 2026-0209, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office Animal Crimes Unit for the Abused and Neglected Animal Health Restoration Fund from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 8th, 2026 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Please add my name.
Please add Councilman Schlepper's name.
Turner, please.
Sweeney.
Kelly. Please add Castleberry as well.
Duly noted.
Okay, thank you. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2026-0169, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to Article 16 of the county charter to provide that the sheriff be elected quadrennially commencing at the 2028 countywide general election and providing for the qualifications and powers and duties for the office of the sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me first start off by apologizing to my chairman and council president. I was unkind to you during this debate. You and I talked a long time ago, and at the end of our conversation, you said, bring it on, and I just brought it on too hard. And I do appreciate everybody's conversation. I truly believe in my heart that this is something that needs to be presented to the folks of Cuyahoga County and voted on it. As you see, folks are coming up saying, I'm for it, I'm against it. We got emails, I'm for it, and I'm against it. But I'm a realist. It was 6-5. It's not going to pass. The question was called. I'm going to withdraw this piece of legislation, and we'll live to fight another day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Resolution 2026-0170, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to Article 2, Section 2.03, and Article 16, Section 6.04 of the county charter to require that county council confirm the county executive's removal of members of boards, agencies, commissions, and authorities as are 1, created by or pursuant to the charter, or 2, as are provided by general law to be appointed by boards of county commissioners.
Move to adopt.
Second.
So we talked about this at length. This is, we've talked about it in committee. I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Castleberry?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Schlepper?
Yes.
Ms. Conwell?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Council President Miller?
Yes.
The motion carries by unanimous vote.
Okay, this resolution is adopted, and we'll move to the November 3rd ballot for consideration by the voters of Cuyahoga County.
Okay. Ordinance 2020, oh, I'm sorry, Resolution 2026-0195, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to Article 2, Section 2.03, Article 6, Section 6.04, and Article 12. Section 12.09 of the county charter to provide that appointments by the county to certain boards and commissions be equally divided between the council and the county executive, and to further provide that for certain appointments requiring council confirmation, if the council fails to act on an appointment of the county executive within 60 days, such appointment shall be deemed rejected without further action by the council.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
First, I want to thank everybody for, first the staff for putting my legislation together. It's Mike King and Trevor and Joe and whoever else helped, and I appreciate the thoroughness of it. And let me apologize to my co-sponsor, Mr. Kelly. I didn't inform him I was going to withdraw it, so I was disrespectful to my colleague on the sheriff stuff, so I apologize. This is quite simple. We talked about it. I just think there's an unfair balance in regards to the appointment process. And if we as council want to have a balanced approach to appointments, this makes all the sense in the world. If you want to keep it in an unbalanced, and the executive has every appointment, and we have zero in regards to recommendations. Think about that. I mean, I'm a broken record on this, and it really makes no sense why we're not going to do it, but this is not going to pass, but I'm going to call the roll just to get everybody on record. Thank you.
Any other comments? So I'll offer a little bit that I have three major concerns about this proposal. First, it would require council to set up its own separate application process, which would be confusing to applicants and cost us more money. Second, it would reduce checks and balances. Currently, we have two sets of eyes on the appointment through executive nomination and council confirmation, but most of the appointments under this amendment would be made by either the executive or council with no input from the other. And finally, the provision that nominations not approved within 60 days are deemed disapproved could lead to the executive and council spinning wheels together, going back and forth on an appointment. So for these reasons, I oppose the amendment.
I appreciate your comments. They're your opinion. I'm going to continue trying to be kind to you. And number one, it's not our own system in place still. It's going to cost us more money. No, that's not overbearing of the work. I'll just leave it alone. Just call the roll, please.
Ms. Turner?
No.
Mr. Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Simon?
No.
I'm so sorry. Can we get a motion and a second before we take the roll call vote?
Sorry about that. I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Who seconded, please?
Flipper.
Okay, so I just want to go back again. So we had, I'm going to just go back. Ms. Turner voted no. Mr. Hauser voted yes. Okay, Ms. Simon?
I voted no.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Castleberry,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher, Mr. Schlepper,
Yes.
Ms. Conwell, Mr. Jones,
No.
Council President Miller.
No.
The motion carries with 6 voting in the affirmative and 5 casting dissenting votes.
So I'm sorry, but this is a charter amendment, and it requires 8 votes to pass.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I just want to thank my colleagues that voted yes.
So, Mr.
Ms. Simon.
President, thank you. I talked about this proposed substitute last time we met on Councilman Sweeney's legislation, and I'm partially in favor of it. I voted no just because I'm not entirely in favor. But the proposed substitute, I'm asking council if they would enable council to appoint half of the Charter Review Commission that meets every 10 years.
I'd like to make the motion to accept the amendment.
Second.
So
We need a
before-
motion for
hold-
reconsideration?
hold on a minute.
Sorry.
before we move forward, the first thing is that we need someone on the prevailing side, which would be those that voted no, to move for reconsideration so that then we can consider the substitute.
That's what
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to reconsider our action on 2026-195. Any discussion on the motion for reconsideration?
No, I'm just happy it happened that way. I got my 6-5, and now we're going to do it the way that's going to pass. So thank you.
All those in favor of the reconsideration, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The reconsideration is approved. The item is now back before the council.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait, we need a motion.
We
I'd like
need
to make a
and
motion.
a second to
I'd like to make a
And
motion.
clarification. I think this is the first time we've gone through a reconsideration. I'm not sure, but
I think what you're doing now is you need a motion to accept the substitute to Councilwoman Simon.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the amendment.
second.
Okay, so to be clear on where we are, we voted to reconsider our action on this piece of legislation so that a substitute could be considered, and a motion has been made and seconded to approve the substitute, and I think we know a little bit about it, but for the record, I would call on Ms. Simon to explain exactly what the substitute does.
Okay, thank you. No, as I said briefly, this will enable council to have its own appointments to the Charter Review Commission every 10 years. Right now, as it stands, how we've done it twice, is the executive makes all the appointments, and we would now get 4 members, half and half, I think, and 1 member by both, by the executive and confirmed by us, I think. So I'm a little out of whack. I haven't, but that's about it. It
That's
gives us
right.
the appointment.
Okay. Is there any comment or discussion on the amendment?
I'll
Yes.
simply say I think it's an excellent idea. I certainly was a no for the resolution, but Sonny Simon has correctly identified one area where this body should have additional weight. So I support the amendment.
So I'm in the same place as Councilman Jones. Councilman Gallagher correctly pointed out that there could be some question of the credibility and the openness to all ideas of the Charter Review Commission because the executive makes all the appointments. And I think that this proposal would enhance the commission's credibility with with everybody, and so I'm a yes as well.
Thank you. And I was right. It's 4 and 4, and then the other, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and one.
And one that gets confirmed by council. And as I stated, most charter review commissions are from the neighborhoods. They're from a plethora of the community, and this will broaden that range of people who will participate in this.
And just on the point, Mr. Chairman, you mentioned that all of these would be, if we don't pass this, executive appointments with council confirmation, like every other one that I brought up on this. But I'm all happy that, can I get a footnote on your amendment? Because I had a little something to do with it. No, I'm just trying to be silly. 'Cause
That's not being silly. If you would not introduce your
oh, I know that. That's
original-
what I'm trying to take a
This would
footnote of her
not be
amendment.
before the council, so this is
You don't
the
have to,
Simon
you don't have to give me an
Sweeney
attaboy.
amendment.
I'm good. But right now, I shouldn't have, it's a serious matter. I'm glad Ms. Simon, or Councilwoman Simon, took the initiative, because I told you I wasn't gonna, and I appreciate, and we didn't communicate at all, and you followed through like you always do. And because of you, this piece of legislation is gonna pass, and we're gonna have a equal opportunity to appoint people. But the critical part is the executive's gonna recommend one, and we're gonna approve it. But if we don't, it's a time crunch. So we really, really, to the executive, have to work on a mutual appointee, because we don't need any more drama or as much smoothness to the process of the commission, the Charter Commission, because it's that important. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll on the proposed charter amendment. 8 votes required for passage.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Absolutely.
Mr. Castleberry?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Schlepper?
Yes.
Ms. Conwell?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Council President Miller?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Resolution is adopted by the council and referred to the voters for their consideration on November 3rd. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance of council for second reading.
Ordinance 2026-0004 was held.
Committee report and consideration of an ordinance of council for third reading adoption.
Ordinance 2026-0009, enacting Chapter 810 of the Cuyahoga County Code to establish the Community Benefits Advisory Committee.
Second.
So first off, I just want to thank our county executive. I want to thank Sabrina Roberts, Debbie Berry, and our law department for taking my request for community benefits agreement seriously. I want to also shout out our law department for all their help from the Crown Act, the Tamir Rice Act, and now our CBAs. I want to thank my colleagues, particularly those in community development and housing, for their thoughtful input and engagement in this process. This ordinance would establish a community benefits advisory committee that will help develop parameters that will provide the administration and council regarding community benefits plans submitted by developers seeking assistance from Cuyahoga County for our economic development funds. This is about ensuring that our public dollars are invested back in our community. As for my colleagues' support.
Ms. Simon.
I just want to thank my colleague, Councilman Hauser, for introducing this, and it's sad that for all this time, we didn't get it together to do it, so I really appreciate you bringing this to fruition and how important it is to have a partnership when the county's extending itself to development projects with low-interest loans or other investment, that we get something in return. And I really appreciate it, but there's an amendment. I thought to add something to this, but it's okay for now. I can come back.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ordinance is adopted, and please add my name.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I need to interrupt for a minute. The vote on the charter amendment, we didn't first vote to accept the substitute. We voted to reconsider. Then we vote, but then the next vote should have been for the substitute. To accept the substitute, and then you need to vote to put it on the ballot.
And actually, I do have my proposed substitute on the community one, so
So what I'm saying is, you need to vote again
to go back to the
to
charter.
put it to the ballot.
I know, but then I just found my amendment for Councilman Hauser, so whatever we want to
Okay,
do.
so, we're going to do exactly, we're going to stick with this one, and then we'll go back to the charter amendment.
Okay.
So, we're going to do exactly what we did before. If you would make a motion to reconsider the item that we just passed.
You know what, I'm going to come back to we can do this at a different time to amend this, so
Okay.
let's just do that.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we're going to go back to the charter amendment and to the law director. Which one is it that,
2026-0195.
okay. And so what step was not completed?
The vote to put it on the ballot.
Okay. So, we reconsidered, we accepted the substitute, and so reverting back to Resolution 2026-0195, is there a motion to approve the resolution and place it
So
on the
moved.
ballot?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. The clerk will please call the roll.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Absolutely.
Mr. Castleberry?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Schlepper?
Yes.
Ms. Conwell? Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Council President Miller?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Could you please add my name?
Please add Councilman Sweeney's name. Councilman Sweeney is already the sponsor of this item,
Oh,
even though it was
yeah.
substituted. So
Got it, okay.
you're already there.
Add Turner, please.
Okay. And Turner. And Conwell. Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Simon, would you like your name added? Since
Sure.
You offered the substitute. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Legislation introduced by executive, consideration of resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules requiring referral to committee and 3 readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Rules are suspended.
Resolution 2026-0232, amending the 2026-2027 biennial operating budget for 2026 for special revenue funds by providing for additional fiscal appropriations and other funding sources, and for appropriation transfers and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Fiscal agenda question is in front of you. This resolution amends the 2026 portion of the biennial budget to include 2 additional appropriations, a $694,261 increase for the Sheriff's Department to cover the cost of K-9s, vehicles, and amended Leotech contract, and a $100,000 increase for the Court of Common Pleas to cover anticipated expenditures through the end of the year, and a cash transfer to the Adams Board in the amount of $3,083,333 for the August monthly subsidy. I urge my colleagues to support this resolution.
All those in favor of adoption say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0233, amending the 2026-2027 biennial operating budget for 2026 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and Health and Human Services levies.
Move to adopt.
Second. The general fund and HHS fund agenda question is in front of you. This resolution amends the 2026 portion of the biennial budget to request to include an appropriation in the amount of $2,000 for the Department of Housing and Community Development for expenses related to mileage reimbursement, advertising, printing, and mailroom charges expected to post through December 31st, 2026. I urge my colleagues to support this resolution.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0234, authorizing an amendment to a contract with the Metro Health System for Correctional Healthcare Services for the County of Cuyahoga County Jail System. And it's for the period May 9th, 2019 through October 31st, 2025, to extend the term to October 31st, 2026, to add funds in the amount of $4 million for a total not to exceed amount of 136, oh my goodness. Hold on. In the amount not to exceed $136,665,111.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item is the temporary extension of our contract with Metro for services at the jail. We discussed it in preview in the committee of the whole. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adoption say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2026-0235, authorizing a revenue-generating agreement with the State of Ohio Department of Transportation in the anticipated amount not to exceed $1,191,360 for the sale of various county-owned real property for the CUI 9016.28 project.
Refer to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Sure.
Resolution 2026-0236, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Leo Technologies LLC for Leo Tech Virus software subscription and support services for the period September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2028, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,695,757.68.
Refer to the Council Operations, Information Technology, and Public Transportation Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules requiring the three readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. All those in favor of the suspension say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Rules are suspended.
Resolution 2026-0182, excuse me, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to Sections 4.01 and 5.06 of the county charter to delineate the powers and duties of the prosecuting attorney and director of law.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Well, we've talked about this, and, I think everything's needed to be said was said. But I just want to say that, the choice right now is having the Attorney General's opinion standing out there over, on this situation, or doing something that protects the law department. And that's really the choice. And I fear that, there's this, people want to get perfection out of this, and right now that's not what's on the table. And more than that, we have to have a working relationship between the departments. And I think if the lawyers in the law department and our staff had it their way, we would plow this through as a council and put it on the ballot. And I'm not sure doing that is the long-term benefit anybody. So.
Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just the reality I have is the law department employees came up and told us they're not comfortable with it. And you, my council president, said you have committed to a special meeting if necessary. And I'm not going to support this because we have time to get it right. And the AG's a piece of paper that he sent us is just sitting, put us in a place that is normal that we've been at. But right now, I'm just going too long. What we have is the opportunity. The law department came up here, said they're not for it, and we have time to work on till September 4th. So I'll be a no vote.
Any further discussion? Councilman Hauser.
I just want to publicly commend all the everyone who works in the law department who came up and gave public testimony. I know it took a lot of courage to do that. And so I'm not sure if the votes are needed to send this to the ballot. I'm going to be honest. I want to be clear. This should have never came to us. You guys should have figured this out 2 weeks ago. It should not have. We shouldn't have to play judge and lawyer. You guys, even if it does not go to the ballot, please work together to figure this out for the good of the residents of Cuyahoga County. Thank you.
Further discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
About having more time, how are we going to have more time to work this out? I thought you said we're voting on this once it was out of committee.
So we're gonna vote on this tonight, but if it's not approved tonight, that doesn't prevent us from continuing to work on this. If an agreement were reached, a new resolution could be introduced at a special meeting, and we could take it from there, and we could put a measure on the September 4th ballot.
Okay,
It's a difficult path, but definitely procedurally doable.
Okay, whatever. You know what? If the AG opinion is going to reign and that's what people feel comfortable with versus something carved out and that's not perfect, then that's fine. I mean, that's up to the law department how they're going to feel if this doesn't change to include employment language. But it's fine with me, however the council wants to proceed.
So I agree with Ms. Simon on the need for action, but I also agree with Councilman Sweeney. We've heard from the law department representatives. They're concerned that they're not protected. I think their concerns have validity, and I think our best shot is to give the parties a chance to work on this further and hopefully come up with an agreement. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. And again, I'm certainly impacted by our own law department coming forward with as they have done. So again, I would certainly be willing to do the due diligence it takes to figure something out. And it's almost at this point not necessarily between the administration and the prosecutor. It's actually almost them to us, because it's now gotten to the point where I'm based on what I've heard today, they have come to an agreement other than around 3 points. And we can take whatever time you're planning to schedule to figure out where we are around the points of contention and let them argue to us what we should do, be able to hear from them, and we make a final decision in whatever time frame you plan out. So Thank you.
Further discussion? Ms. Conwell?
I think it's been very exhausting for both sides or all the parties that have worked on this together, but I just ask that, that both parties, for the good of the county and the good for the employees in the law department, they come together and really work on this collectively. It's 3 points of contention. They're adults. Let's ask that, you know, we take, if there are any, but it seems that that is the consensus out there in the media, that there's been some feelings. So let's take the personal feelings out. Let's move the county forward. And I think you guys, if you keep working on it, you've went over a lot. You've conceded on both sides for a lot. I think you can do it by the September 4th date. Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Yeah, I just have to reiterate the 3 points that Councilman Jones referenced a couple times. One, it's language issues and employment matters, how that's going to be, you know, set forth, even though the substance of it is still pretty clear that we can continue to do what we do. But the third one, you don't need to be a lawyer to have a decision and make a decision on the third point about the sheriff. That won't, right now, what the executive wants and the law department and our staff, Mike King, apparently wants the sheriff to continue to have a choice to report and get a legal opinion from either the executive or the prosecutor. What this substitute says is they only can go to the prosecutor. And so we don't need to be lawyers to make a decision on whether that should be interfering with passing this whole charter amendment. I mean, that's one of the issues, is who the sheriff should be reporting to get legal opinions. So I just want to say that's not you don't need to be a lawyer to make a decision on that. And
Further discussion?
to me, I just want to say that shouldn't hold up a whole charter amendment on September 4th or whatever day you guys are going to be voting.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Turner?
No.
Mr. Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Simon?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
No.
Mr. Castleberry?
No.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Schlepper?
Yes.
Ms. Conwell? Sorry, I can't hear you. Thank you.
Where is the vote right now?
Mr. Jones?
I lost count. I was
5-4.
should have been using my fingers. Oh, I'm still gonna vote my conscience, most certainly. I was just curious as to where it was.
It's 5 in the affirmative and 4 casting dissenting votes.
5 in the affirmative, 4 dissenting. My position is, I think we should have a little time. If we vote yes, there's no time. So it's not based on, to me, the merit of what Councilwoman Simons put forward. I want time, so I am a no vote.
Okay. Council President Miller?
No.
So the motion fails.
Okay, so the resolution is short of the number of votes required for submission to the ballot, so it will not proceed. But hopefully further work will be done on this.
Resolution 2026-0205, authorizing an amendment to a grant agreement to Say Yes Cleveland and College Now Greater Cleveland Incorporated for administration and fiscal agent services for the Say Yes Cleveland program for the period July 16, 2024 through July 15, 2026, to extend the time period to July 15, 2027, to amend various terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,200,000 $100,000, effective July 16, 2026.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We heard this matter in committee. It's a simple amendment to a grant agreement. Ask for your support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0213, confirming the county executive's appointment of Mary B. Serby to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community Improvement Corporation Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending January 1st, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Mary's going to continue doing a great job. I'd ask my colleagues to support it.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0214, confirming the county executive's appointment of Emily Monteleone to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for the term July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Montalino is going to do a great job. Ask my colleagues to support her.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0215, confirming the county executive's appointment of Patricia Newell to serve on the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging 5-County Advisory Council for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Newell is going to do a great job. Ask my colleagues to support her.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0216, confirming the county executive's appointment of Wayne D. Hudson to serve on the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County for an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hudson's going to do a great job on the Alcohol, Drug, and Addiction Mental Health Board. I ask my colleagues to support him.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0217, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of various avenues, boulevards, roads, and streets located in various municipalities in connection with the 2027-2028 50/50 resurfacing program. Total estimated project cost is $17,664,950. And finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement for municipalities A through V.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Councilman Jones. 2026-0217.
Thank you, thank you. Not probably, which one? This one? All right. All right, thank you for bearing with me here. So this item was vetted in committee, again, various road projects, and again, fully vetted in committee, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
Okay, this is the 50/50 resurfacing program. It's a very large-scale project involving many municipalities over the next 2 years. All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0218, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Microsoft Corporation for Microsoft Unified Enterprise Software installation, configuration, training, and support services for the period December 6, 2024 through September 1st, 2026, to extend the time period to September 1st, 2027, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,019,508.54.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Councilman Castleberry.
Yes, thank you. This item was gone over in committee of council operations and fully vetted, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0219, authorizing a contract with Medical Mutual of Ohio in the amount not to exceed $2,919,182 for stop-loss insurance services for Cuyahoga County and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants. It's for the period January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This was heard and thoroughly reviewed in committee, and I'd ask my colleagues to support this.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0220, authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for real estate appraisal services in connection with the sheriff's sale for the period September 1st, 2017 through August 31st, 2026, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2029, to amend Section 3, expense reimbursement, to change the mileage rate from 0.655 per mile to 0.725 per mile.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was heard in committee, and the recommendation is passage.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0221, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Maximus Human Services, Inc. for the Ohio Works First program for the period January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2026, to amend budget terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,020,620.06.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This matter was heard in committee. It's an amendment to a contract, and I ask for your support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0222, authorizing an amendment to a contract with the Centers for Families and Children for the Ohio Works First program for the period January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2026, to amend budget terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,209,735.49.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I ask my colleagues to pass this necessary contract to extend the time period for additional time to amend the budget terms and for additional funds.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0223, authorizing a contract with Catholic Charities Corporation in the amount not to exceed $1,340,000 for success coaching services for eligible Ohio Works First applicants and management of the incentive payment system in connection with the Benefits Bridge program for the period July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
Move to adopt.
Second.
My colleagues, Mr. Paul Bounds, as well as a representative from Catholic Charities, spoke in committee in regards to the Benefit Bridge program. There was some collective questioning, and so I asked my colleagues to move this forward.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0224, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for emergency assistance services for the period September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2026, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2027, to change the terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,575,000.
Move to adopt. Second. To the chair and to the committee, this was presented in Health and Human Services. There was a question on item E in terms of the address and if that
provider was still current. They did follow up and answer that it is still current, but I still have questions in terms of, I'm willing for passage, but I still want the committee to follow up with where are they currently located, because the address was incorrect of West 25th Furnishings and Appliances. It's appearing that it's closed to the public, but the Department of Health and Human Services states that it's open. So just want to clarify that further. But for now, I don't have a problem with moving it forward, asking you guys to move it forward for passage.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0225, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for operating support of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, approved permanent housing services for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026, to extend the time period to October 31st, 2027, to amend various terms, to change a vendor's name, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $2,812,354.
I move to adopt.
Second.
I ask my colleagues to pass this resolution. I believe there was a question, or let me find out which one. Item C probably was the one that changed their name. Just a request from the administration to try to keep the Health and Human Services Committee alerted to name changes. That just, it would be much appreciated. But other than that, the director at the time, Sherry, did come up and explain. I was kind of busy in how the name got changed. So I asked my colleagues for their support for adoption.
All of those in favor of adoption, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0226, authorizing an acceptance of a grant award from U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in the amount of $2,121,305 for the Continuum of Care Coordinated Entry System in connection with the fiscal year 2025 Continuum of Care Homeless Program competition grant, and it's for the period August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2027, and authorizing awards to various subrecipients utilizing the proceeds of the grant award.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I'd just like to share, I know our director, Ross, has worked very hard, as well as the HHS administration, in getting these housing, or getting the verbiage of housing navigators into all of these contracts. They weren't in all of them. It's been a struggle. This is grant funded, but the whole purpose of the housing navigators is to help and assist our residents move forward out of the homeless shelter. So it just precludes that we should have the housing navigators verbiage within the contracts. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that it's now clearly in all of them across the board. And so I would ask for my colleagues for their support and passage.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0227, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Youth Opportunities Unlimited for single comprehensive case management and employment program provider services for young adults for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2027, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $6,475,025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This matter was heard in committee. I ask for your support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution, I'm sorry, go ahead. It's you're up.
Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2026-0198, amending the 2026-2027 biennial operating budget for 2026 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and health and human services levies.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This resolution amends the 2026 portion of the biennial budget to request additional appropriations. The request includes $1,315,000 for the Sheriff's Department to cover the remaining expenses for the Summit food contract and $600,000 for the ITAV equipment, security, and new building enhancements and repairs, contracted services, and supplies at the medical examiner's office. The legislation also includes two line item transfers, juvenile court and the Board of Elections. I urge my colleagues to support this item.
So this item was heard in committee and well discussed. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0200, fixing the 2027 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and sewerage treatments rates for the county sewer district numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, and 25 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Again, these items were heard in committee, this one and the companion resolution to follow. Again, they were fully vetted, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0201, again approving and confirming the 2027 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and sewerage treatment assessments for county sewer district numbers, again 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, and 25 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Again, this is the second, as the previous resolution. They were both heard in committee, fully vetted, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2026-0202, authorizing an economic development place-based mixed-use loan in the amount not to exceed $2 million to Erie View Tower Hotel, LLC, or their designee to facilitate the redevelopment of the Erie Tower and Galleria located at 1301 East 9th Street in the city of Cleveland.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I have a
Ms.
substitute.
Simon.
I do have a
Yes.
substitute.
Yes.
Should I do that now?
Yes.
Okay, I have a substitute in front of everybody, which, this is a project at Erie View Tower next to the Galleria, connected to it, in which the county is proposing to provide a $2 million loan to the developer at a lower than market interest rate. When I reviewed the project, it became clear that the building itself has mirrored windows, and I learned that it's causing quite a problem with migrating birds, and at least 700 have been documented killed by colliding with this building. I've worked with Paul Hertig, and I've worked with, we met at the site and came up with a plan that's incorporated into this substitute, which says, Paul, are you standing there because you want to respond or to this? I mean, you're standing in the middle of nowhere. So what this amendment says is that if the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office allows the developer to put on some film on the windows, then they have to do it. And at some point, when they get the funds, and actually we have a price, it's around $250,000. At some point, they would do that as a contingency to get this lower interest loan from the county. So when we talk about community benefits, I think this is a place where we actually can make a difference. So that's what the amendment says, and it's what I understand will not thwart their ability to move forward with the project if down the line they have to put the film on the glass.
Director Herdig, did you have something you wanted to say?
So before we hear from the director, would you like to make a motion and that we accept the substitute version?
Thank you. Yes, I make such a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Director, do you have a comment on this?
Yes, thank you, Council President. Paul Herdig, Department of Development. The Department of Development appreciates the concern that's been raised. However, we need to bring to the attention of Council that the substitute resolution that's been proposed, if accepted and incorporated into the final resolution, would cause significant problems for this important project. The resolution, the substitute resolution proposed would not allow the Department of Development to disperse any amount of its $2 million economic development loan for this project until the bird safe film was in fact applied to the building. There are 11 funding sources in this project. We are one, there are 10 others. Each of these funders relies on the other funding sources to execute its funding in the way that's been discussed and worked out with all the other funders. As this loan has been brought forward, it came through the normal, regular process. It was underwritten by staff, fully discussed by our loan review committee, which we gave its unanimous approval, came to this council in normal form. Late in the process has arisen the suggestion that we cannot disperse the loan until this film is applied to the building. And setting aside the issue of who's going to pay the $250,000 cost, this creates an uncertainty in being able to ever disperse the loan that will interfere with the complete financing of the project. David Ebersole is here representing the project, and if permitted, would like to amplify this. But I would like to finish by saying we take seriously the concerns that have been raised. We attempted to bring the parties together. We secured a letter from the developer indicating they, in fact, are willing to apply this film upon historic approval, but the developer also stated in that letter they do not have available the approximately $250,000 it will cost.
Mr. Ebersole.
Thank you, and good evening. Thank you for the chance to address this issue. I agree with everything that the director has said, and I think on behalf of our client and our project, we're more than willing to keep to the commitment to continue to work through this process to mitigate any bird strike issues going forward, including in the operations of the building. But the challenge we face here is we have a loan approval, we have terms that have been approved by the 11 other parties that are in this project. This is a fairly unique project. I can only think of a handful that have this many parties that are involved in the lending process that will have to go through and approve every contingency. A contingency on disbursement essentially says that the loan is not in existence until the contingency is satisfied. And if the loan is not in existence, then all of the other lenders, I'm in violation of having my complete capital stack to move forward with them. It also creates some challenges in that we have gone through permitting and design review process in the appropriate jurisdiction. And so, again, we've committed that we're going to continue to work through this project. It's our understanding that basically the glass facade of the building is the historic element of the building that is required to be preserved to satisfy the historic tax credits. And so there's not really a way that we can go through this process and alter that facade. That's a challenge for us. And so to some extent, we've communicated with SHPO, and that's what they've given to us. And so, again, we're willing to try to work through to get mitigation, but we would ask that the council adopt the resolution in the original form. Thank you.
Mr. Ebersole, if you could just state your name for the record.
Yep. David Ebersole, Ebersole.
Thank you.
Ms. Simon.
Mr. Ebersole, is it your position that the Historic Tax Credit Board Commission has denied the ability of the developer to put the bird safe film on the glass? Is that what your position is?
The indication on all our conversations with staff is that the installation of a modification to the glass facade as it exists would not be in compliance with the historic preservation regulations.
we did the research here, our staff, and came up with a different outcome. So if that's your position that it's not going to be approved, is your position that it's not going to be approved by the board?
That's the indication that we've received from our
So
architect.
then, at that point, you could move forward and get the loan. That's the contingency.
The contingency would require us to put together a program, send it to SHPO, secure their disapproval, as I read it, prior to closing and dispersing on the loan, which would then put us within violation of the terms that we have in our lender, is a modification to the term sheet that we have walked around and gotten all of our buy-in from our lender, and would cause us serious problems and serious delay in this project, which would call the whole project into question.
So what would your commitment look like? What would the developer's commitment look like if this amendment or substitute isn't moving forward? What would the commitment look like that I, as a council person who's approving a loan to a private developer for a project that's benefiting the developer, using our loan and tax dollars to benefit the developer, what would a commitment look like to this body? Not that everybody cares about this as much as I do, admittedly. I think I'm probably it, beside maybe one or two others. But what would that look like? And how would we trust that just as goodwill, they'll do something at some point and stop this? I mean, it's a pretty egregious site, and the consequences are pretty bad. And so tell me what a commitment looks like.
Sure, well, negotiating on the spot. I would say, one, we have to meet our historic credit obligations. Two, that we are open to finding a resolution to the matter as we continue to move forward in construction, and that there are certain operational impacts that we can work with on our, on behalf of our tenants, prospective users of the building, to try to mitigate this issue as best we can. But I would also point out that the alternative is that this project does not proceed and the condition is not mitigated at all. So that's where I would leave this.
Okay. Well, I would ask the president to weigh in on how we might amend this to get some teeth, something in here. And if this is a private development project, and what our Department of Development has become, basically, and no disrespect to Paul Hurtig, the director, it's a bank. We just give out low-interest loans to these private developers to profit from what they're doing with county money. We get some money back as a revolving loan benefit, but that's pretty much is the business that we're in. And I'm not feeling really good that there's any commitment to do anything, that what you just said doesn't address the problem. And I don't know if it's that the loan gets dispersed and there's a commitment in this resolution that there's going to be some modification approved, that will be approved by the historic, if it's approved, that they'll do it. I mean, would that be acceptable to you, Mr. Ebersol, if the loan can be dispersed, but the process still has to be followed? That way the project won't be interrupted.
May I speak briefly to this without taking a position on this? Just again to review what the developer committed in their letter was to seek further historic review to see if this proposed solution could receive review, but the developer did not commit to pay for the application of the film. And that is still the position we understand the developer have. They do not have $250,000 additional available to pay for that.
Well, how about this? If it's approved by they still have to go through the process to get the approval or not. And if the approval is given for some form of mitigation on the glass, then there's an obligation to come back to this council to see where they're at and what money can be expended to address the problem. You know, so maybe there has to be something overseeing this. If not, it's never going to happen.
I think, you know, on our behalf of our side, I think we could work on language of an acceptable term in the agreement pertaining to this matter. The contingency is a challenge. You know, a term, every loan has terms. We can probably find a way to codify this conversation that we've had over the last couple of weeks. But a contingency is highly
I
problematic.
understand. So is there time for us to come back? I know I don't want to interrupt your project, and that would be the last thing that I would want to see. The contingency about releasing the money is the problem. So I can make an amendment. Go ahead.
Something along the lines of that there will be a term to the loan pertaining to, I'd have to come up with the right language off the top of my head.
Do we have
but,
time to come back on September 4th and amend this to everybody's satisfaction? I think we're coming back, right, Council President, on the 4th?
So it would be sometime prior to September 4th, if it would be a matter of comparing schedules as to when exactly that would be, but sometime prior to September 4th, if there seems to be an agreement on that one amendment.
I mean, I think we could agree to a term that matched the language that was in, you know, the letter that we discussed.
Okay.
And just say that, you know, if you would accept an amendment to the amendment, just say that the loan will contain a term pertaining to the developers working with SHPO on this matter, and leave it at that.
Council President, again, just to put this on the record, in plain language, just so it's clearly understood, what the developer is promising to do and what we, the Department of Development, will ensure is written into the agreement is to pursue approval, historic approval of this treatment and report back to this council on the status of that approval, and to report back to this council, if it's approved, what the cost will be.
To who?
To this council.
No.
No.
They would just tell us what the cost is and then
Okay.
figure out how it's going to get covered.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's going to be incorporated into the contract,
Yep, to determine the loan.
The term of the
as we
loan.
see it. And yes.
and with the interest rate change on that loan, if, I'll just let it go. I mean, I don't think there's a lot we can get as a commitment at this point, but we don't have the the benefit agreement that Councilman Hauser, we have tonight, but future, you know, this really has to be looked at when we're looking at these buildings downtown, and I appreciate that. So what's the resolution then if this amendment doesn't go forward? You're going to have that as a term sheet?
So again, Council President and Councilwoman, the suggestion was to further amend the amendment
Okay.
to state that a term of the loan agreement will be the developer's commitment to pursue historic approval for the film treatment, and if that approval is secured, to report back to this council what the cost of that treatment would be.
Perfect.
So are you moving to amend your amendment in that
Yes,
form?
yes, based on what Director Hurdig just said, to amend the substitute to have that language.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
And Councilman Schlepper had a question, followed by Sweeney.
I just had a quick question about this overall project. Is this associated with the full redevelopment of Erie View Tower with the W Hotel moving in there? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so this is a $218 million project, and we're discussing $250,000. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there. I think it's nominal, and I think that we should certainly do that, but that's just my opinion as one council member. Just wanted to put that out there.
Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you. Just before I get my question, there's amendment to the amendment, but do we have the verbiage of the amendment of the amendment? Is that can be drawn up before we vote on it? Okay. Mr. Chairman, hello, David.
Councilman?
It's nice seeing you in a different capacity. We talked about just being a bank. Director, what's the economic development return of our investment of the dollars that we're putting in, how much we're going to get back, not just on the revolving loan, but the anticipated $218 million worth of investment here? How much is the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County projected to get?
Thank you. Councilman, referring to the presentation that was made to our loan review committee, indicating in addition to, as you noted, the repayment of the county's loan, there are anticipated benefits here. This redevelopment represents the adaptive reuse of one of Cleveland's most prominent buildings, which is currently more than 50% vacant, reactivating a key downtown asset, enhancing the pedestrian experience throughout. It's anticipated that the project overall will create new jobs, far more than the number we usually require, whereas we normally require one new job per $50,000 alone. In this case, there are 180 new jobs, which is one job for only every 11,000 of the loan, which is an improvement. The total project overall will create 1,081 new to the county full-time jobs.
Plus all the, through the chair, plus all the other ancillary property or income tax, because some people are living there, right?
There will be a substantial tax revenue as well.
Plus the people spending money on the shopping around there?
Yes, the sales tax revenue from the economic activity.
And through the chair, and it's been pretty dormant for years. It's going to complete the East 12th to the river.
This is a very large component of the work that's being done in that part of the city of Cleveland to try to revive and bring that back to full use.
And I just want to stress so much that this project is so important and so long overdue, and the developer that's choosing to do this is taking a substantial risk. I appreciate Councilwoman Simon's passion, and I'm glad we have some kind of thing we can put in there to give her some comfort level. But this thing is long overdue. I can't wait to celebrate when it opens up, and I hate saying 2.0, but the next version of the Galleria, I'm looking forward to with great anticipation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Hauser.
I just want to say through the president to kind of echo Councilman Sweeney. As a council, it's never our intention to hold up any project. I can speak for the councilwoman as well. And so we will do a better job of getting in front of these projects and working together in the future. Because to you guys' defense, you know, it's if you guys have a deal done, it's, you know, I'm sure unfair to you to ask for changes in the eighth hour as well. So we will do a better job as a council to work collaboratively, but it's never our intention to hold up any economic development, and I'm excited about this project as well.
So if there's no objection, I would like to hold this legislation for a few minutes and give the director the chance to write out the language, and meanwhile, we'll do the other items on our agenda, and then we'll come back to
Sure.
this in just
Mr. President, while we're waiting, I just want to say thank you to the developer. They met, Mr. Morehouse met us, their council met us out at the site with the bird people and the film people, everybody, and did a thorough walkthrough, and appreciate their willingness to do that and learn about it. And I think maybe what I'll do is a presentation to council before I leave about why this is important, and I think further education is valuable about that it's just not sparrows that we see in our backyard.
Okay, let's proceed to the next item.
Resolution 2026-0207, determining to proceed with submitting to the electors of Cuyahoga County the question of a renewal with an increased levy for the purpose of supplementing general fund appropriations for health and human or social services in accordance with Section 5705.191 and 5705.25 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? I have some. I'm just going to say that our Health and Human Services departments and our partner agencies have served with distinction, skill, compassion, and attention to financial limits to meet the needs of our community, whether it be child protection, senior services, early childhood education, housing and homeless services, workforce development, SNAP and Medicaid reentry, educational assistance, hospital care, or mental health services. Despite their best efforts, we have fallen on hard times. Post-COVID inflation, increased labor and healthcare costs, and adverse state and federal policy changes have taken a serious toll. We are not able to meet our community's needs without additional resources. Whether a senior needs home care to live independently, a child needs quality preschool to get a good start in life, an abandoned child needs foster care and adoption, or an accident victim needs trauma care at Metro, please remember that any of us or our neighbors could need services like these at any time. Times are rough and things cost more money, but our true nature is to be a community that cares about each other, and we must be that community now. I encourage my colleagues to vote to place this on the ballot, and if we do, I ask the people to please vote for it on November 3rd. Councilman Sweeney, followed by Gallagher.
No, I'm good. Just we gotta get it to the people, ask them to vote for it, and we need to get it passed, plain and simple.
Councilman Gallagher.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to vote to put this on the ballot, but I'm going to tell you, I find it very interesting that we are choosing to use the Metro Hospital and seniors as a reason and rationale. The two groups that have been left in the dust by this county historically. And the only reason that I'm voting for it is because Metro wants it. I think you need to clean up your act. You blew through your budget, you blew through your reserve, and the solution was, hey, we need more money. Everybody needs more money. And I don't take it away from you trying to serve people that absolutely need it. But you don't step on the coattails of the people that got you there. Metro and the seniors. And I can already see the helicopter flying in the commercials. And when I threw a softball, the largest softball I've ever thrown in my elected career, to the director, I said, well, at least we're going to make Metro whole. I've never seen someone double clutch like that in my whole life. We really need to think about that and think about what we're doing and planning better. Budgets are budgets, needs are needs, and you want to match those up and not blow through reserves. Thank you.
Councilwoman Conwell.
Thank you. I just want to ask my colleagues to put this on the ballot for the citizens of Cuyahoga County to vote their conscience. Each of us during this previous budget cycle has saw and heard and listened to all the presentations about the funding, and my colleagues that have been with me since the beginning know this is probably the toughest budget cycle that we've ever went through. There was always funding. As I stated, I want to say probably at our last committee meeting that if the electors vote on passage, which we hope that they do, that there needs to be further discussion, and there will be further discussion on how the dollars are spent, and that there won't be, it's council's determination how dollars are spent, not the Health and Human Services Administration by themselves. And so we have a duty to be prudent with the dollars if they so generously vote for passage. So I ask my colleagues to help me in passing this today so we can hear clearly from the residents of this county if they would afford us some more dollars to help balance our budget. Thank you.
Councilman Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I will vote to put this on the ballot, but gasoline prices are $4.20-some a gallon. Utility bills are up. The MRDD has something going on the ballot. RTA is talking about a sales tax increase. I think it's bad timing. It's, 2 years early? So, and it's an increase. I think the voters of Cuyahoga County are going to see what this might do to them, but I'll vote, put it on, let the voters decide.
Any further discussion, Councilwoman Turner?
Thank you, through the chair. I think of everything that we discussed here today, this is probably the most important, and it's getting the least amount of time. Our federal and state partners have reduced funding, and at the very same time, demands for services continue to grow. We have a responsibility to protect the essential services our residents depend on. If we fail to provide a sustainable local funding source, we will ultimately face difficult choices that include service reductions and workforce layoffs. This resolution doesn't impose a tax. It gives the voters of Cuyahoga County the opportunity to decide whether these vital services should continue to be funded. I think if we don't pay now, we'll pay later. And that could look like a lot of different things. Kids moving back in with parents, or parents moving in with kids. Just food insecurity. I mean, we know I could go on and on. But I will be supporting this levy because I think we have to. Again, I'll just end by saying that of everything we discussed here, all those other things were about power, who had it and who wants it. This is talking about the people that the charter put us here to serve. So I will be voting to support this levy and doing everything that I can to make sure that it passes.
Further discussion?
Council President?
Yes, Councilman Jones.
I certainly will be supporting this levy. Councilwoman Turner made a very astute observation about the state. When we talk about tax collection, Cuyahoga County is one of them, less than half dozen urban communities across this state who are revenue generators. We generate enough money to take care of ourselves, but we don't get to hold on to our money. The moment we collect those sales tax and dollars, it's given straight to the state. They hold it in their hands and they give it back to us. But when we get it back, we get a fraction of what we've given them. It's like you look at it and say, well, what's this little bit of money you're giving back to us? And then we're supposed to take care of our community. They take those dollars and they give it to the other 50 or 88 counties or 80-some rural communities who are really welfare counties. We're a donor county, and they are the welfare counties. They need our money for their survival. And we don't have our own money for our own survival. So when we get those few dollars back, and it's not enough because there's an infinite amount of need and only a finite amount of dollars, and the finite dollars we have have been stripped from us. So now we go back to a community who gives, and they give generously to these health and human service levies. So we're going back to them because we don't have the money we generated the first time. So when we talk about tax collection and what we're doing to the people, I would look beyond the local government when you talk about what's being done to our community, tax dollar wise. The state has a rainy day fund of our dollars in the billions waiting for a rainy day, but they don't think it's raining in Cuyahoga County. So here we are going back to a community who gives. So I don't knock this community for when they give. I celebrate them for going above and beyond to take care of a need that we were already able to take care of when they gave the first time. So I will certainly be voting in support of this Health and Human Service levy.
Further discussion? Councilman Hauser.
I will just make a comment. I agree with every word Councilwoman Turner said. I know we're not always going to agree on everything all at the same time, but it sounds like majority of council supports this effort. I think it's strength when we all work together. I was thinking about what Councilman Gallagher said about the syntax. I think it's one thing for the county executive to go down to the State House. I think it's another thing for the entire county council to go on behalf of the residents of Cuyahoga County. And so I think, you know, where we can work together as a unit, all 11 of us, we will be stronger together. And so I'm fully supportive of this levy as well.
Anything further? The clerk will please call the roll.
Council President.
An amendment going on to the ballot requires 8 votes for approval.
Council President, I just want clarification of who seconded the motion. No, you made the motion.
Okay.
Thank you. Calling the roll, Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Hauser,
Yes.
Ms. Simon,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly, Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Castleberry,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher, Mr. Schlepper,
Yes.
Ms. Conwell,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Council President Miller.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay. Resolution is a-
Mr. President, we can go back to Resolution 2026-0202.
Okay, first I'm going to make the announcement. Resolution 2026-207 is approved by the council and will go to the voters of Cuyahoga County for their vote on November 3rd. Okay, reverting back now to Resolution 2026-0202.
Council President Trevor Mackler, County Council staff. I have draft language that would replace the current proposed substitute that was at your dais, that proposed addition, all that language would be removed and have the following language that, if it's okay with the Council President, I was going to read to you. The developer's rep and the department has agreed to the proposed language if council accepts it. So the proposed substitute, the addition would read as follows. A term of the loan agreement shall include the Erie View Tower Hotel LLC or their designees' commitment to seek approval of the installation of bird-safe film or glass on Erie View Tower by the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office and National Park Service, period. The Department of Development shall report back to council as to the determination and the cost of installation of bird-safe film or glass on Erie View Tower.
Okay.
If that's it, sure.
So,
Like-
if you're willing, then you should withdraw the motion that you made for the original substitute.
I don't think we got that far.
We did.
We did. Did you say who
We got
seconded?
the,
Oh,
we
okay.
got a motion and
Oh,
a
I'll
second
withdraw it.
on the substitute,
Okay, I
but
can
not on the
withdraw.
amendment to the amendment.
Okay, so I'll withdraw.
And who made the second?
I don't know.
Mr. Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, we do have the main motion made to adopt, but we need a motion to accept the substitute, the new one, as the version before the committee.
So moved. Okay,
Second.
Okay.
All right.
It's been moved and seconded.
By who?
Is there any,
Second by Sweeney.
is there any discussion on the substitute? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the substitute and making it the version before the committee, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The substitute is accepted. The question now is whether to approve the resolution as substituted on its merits.
So moved.
But we don't need a motion. It's already been moved and seconded.
Okay.
All those in favor of adoption of the substituted main motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Please add my name.
Schlepper as well.
Add my name as well, please.
Turner.
Castleberry.
And my name as well.
And add my name as well.
Okay. Do you
Duly
have
noted.
all the names?
Duly noted.
Okay. Okay. We will go to Section E, Committee Report and Consideration of an Ordinance for Second Reading.
Ordinance 2026-0005. No legislation was taken on this item.
Okay. Thank you. Consideration of an ordinance for fourth reading adoption.
Ordinance 2026-0006, enacting Section 205.11 of Title II, County Organization of the Cuyahoga County Code to establish the Cuyahoga County Administrative Appeals Board as an independent body to hear and decide appeals from administrative enforcement actions of county departments and agencies.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Simon, I believe you have a substitute.
I have another substitute. This one's easy. It's actually a technical amendment to just clarify business days and also that a member of this new appeals board can continue to serve beyond the expiration of their term, so we don't have vacancies. And this, so that's it. And we need this to be a companion to the rest of the consumer legislation associated with Councilman Hauser's later guns.
Would you like to make a motion to accept the substitute?
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the substitute. Is there any discussion on the substitute? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the substitute, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The substitute is accepted, and now with a motion on the main question already being made and seconded, the question is whether to approve the main motion as substituted on its merits. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ordinance is adopted. So that brings us to our miscellaneous committee reports, which there aren't many going into recess, but there are a few.
Mr. Schlepper?
I do not believe we'll be meeting. I don't have any pieces of legislation.
Legislation was referred to your committee, but I presume it'll be after the.
Yeah, this would be
we
after
come
the
back.
recess in September.
So you can give us the date at the first council meeting after the recess. And I presume the same would be true for the other committees as well. Is there any miscellaneous business? I would just like to take a moment and thank everybody for what has been a long and difficult stretch heading into the recess. And the long list of items on the agenda testifies to the large number of important but less controversial pieces of legislation that we took care of, and we also took care of a number of highly significant items, headlined by, as Councilwoman Turner said, placing the Health and Human Services levy on the ballot, and also 2 charter amendments, and and other important things. So I just want to say thank you very much. I encourage everyone to get some rest and relaxation. I will send out to everybody to compare schedules and come up with a date or two for a possible special meeting if we are able to get a meetings of the minds on the law department and prosecutor. Any other miscellaneous business? Hearing none, this council stands adjourned.